Okay, hello everyone. Today is Mew. I'm so sorry I don't this book read. So I read this book. So they listen quietly and I read it very slow. Okay. Today I go read book. Don't go into the forest. Okay, part 1. On Saturday afternoon, our family arrived at the cottage. Okay, sorry. I just meant cuss. Okay, we'll start. Part 1. On Saturday afternoon, our family arrived at the cottage. My friends Leon and Marcos were with us. It's hot, said Leon. I'm thirsty, complained Marcos. Hold on, I said, and went to find my mother. Can we go to the store and buy ice cream? Sure, said my mother. But buy some ketchup too, please. We roast hot dogs on the bonfire tonight. She gave me some money. Be home in time for dinner and don't go into the forest. When we got to the store, we bought good ice cream and ketchup. Then we walked to the beach. Some big kids were playing ball. Let's watch, said Macros. We can't stay for the whole games, I told them. We have to be back by dinner. Can't we cut through the forest? Asked Macros. No, my mom thinks something bad could happen, I said. Like what? Leon said. The litter people might get us, I say. Who are they? Marco asked. I tell you a story, I said. Litter people, my story. Please take this apple to the market, Jenna's mother said. Your brother can go with you. I don't want to, said Tate. You must help your sister, mother told him. But don't go into the forest. Remember the litter people. Litter peoples were creatures who take care of the forest. If children trample in the wood, they could catch them and chew their fingernails. Jenna carried the basket and Tate walked behind her. Soon, they came to a forest. Tate jumped from the road and hid behind a tree. Get back on the road. Remember the little people, said Jenna. Make me, Tate called back. Come now, or I'm leaving without you, Jenna warned. Good, Tate said. I didn't want to come anyway. The little people will get you, Jenna said. Ha! Tate laughed. Why couldn't I have a sister instead? Jenna sighed. I picked him up on the way back, she told herself. And then she left. After Jenna gone, Tate got bored. He sat on the ground and closed his eyes. Now we have him, Tiny. Now we have him, Tiny voice cackled. Tate opened his eyes and saw little creatures running over him. He tried to get up and run, but he couldn't move. He tried to scream, but there was no sound. By the time Jenna had sold the apple, her anger was gone. I hope Tate is waiting by the road, she thought. But when Jenna reached the forest, she didn't see him. Tate, she called, let's go. There were no reply. Jenna started to panic. It's the little people! Tate! she called. As she searched the forest, he came to a thick bush. Something was sticking out. A shoe. Tate? Jenna whispered. He crawled into the bush. Tate was tied and hidden under a pile of branch. The little people must be saving him for dinner. they could be back later to chew on his nails. Joanna untied Tate and helped him to the road. They ran all the way home. When they were safe, Joanna said, "Next time, do as you told." Tate said he would, and he did. "Course," said Marcus. "Do you think that story is true?" "Maybe," I said. "There are a lot of spooky things in the woods," said Leon. "Have you heard about the pot man?" "No," we replied. "Tell us." Pot man, Leon's story. Gail lived his grandparents near a forest. "You can play in the yard," his grandparents told him, "but don't go into the forest." Years ago, your parents went in there and they never came back. And first, Gil did as he was told, but as he grew older, he began to wonder, "Why can't I go into the woods? What happened to my parents?" Finally, Gil went into the forest. There was a path. "I follow it," he drew, "and see where it goes." He didn't notice that it was getting late. Soon it was too dark to see the path. "I never find my way back now," Gil drew. "Tomorrow, when it's light, I find my way home." Gil tried to sleep, but he heard a strange sound coming from the ground beside him. He dug into the dirt and found a scarf. It was tugging. "Listen," said the scarf. "A woman lives in this forest." He walks among the trees carrying a big pot. He points the pot at any paper she sees, and he stuck them in. Then the woman eat them. She eat everyone who comes here. She ate me. She will eat you too. "Ooh, what can I do?" asked Gil. "Hide, or the pot woman will find you," the scarf said. All that night, Gil dug in the ground with his hand. When the hole was deep enough, he buried himself, leaving just one eye and his nose uncovered. Early the next morning, Gil spied a man with a big pot walking toward him. She was pointing the pot left and right. She passed right over Gil and disappeared behind the trees. Gil dug himself out and he ran the other way. He didn't stop until he was out of the forest and back at his grandparents' house. "You've been in the forest, haven't you?" asked his grandparent. "You look it to be alive. You must never go there again." Gil promised he wouldn't, and he never did. "I bet the pot woman gobbled up his parents," said Marcos. "I look at my watch." "You should go," I told them. "Wait, it's my turn to tell a story," Marcos said. "This one is about the bar bench." Marcos' story. Cheto was walking along. He stopped at an inn for dinner. "Do you need a room?" the innkeeper asked. "No, I have to keep going," Cheto said. "My friend is expecting me." "But the road goes through the woods," said the owner. "Take my advice. Don't go into the forest." "Why not?" Cheto asked. "There are strange people living there," replies the man. "They have eyes like cats. They are called the barbarians." The owner leaned closer. At night, the barbarians turn into heads with wings, and their eyes glow. They make loud cries, but as they get closer, they become quiet. When they are really near, the owner whispers, "All you hear is the flapping of their wings." And they are dead. Nonsense, said Cheeto. That is a silly story told to scare children. I'll be on my way. It was warm, still night. The trees stood like giants behind the road. After a while, Cheeto came upon a few houses. The lights were on, but everything was quiet. He went to one window and looked in. Nobody was there, but water was boiling on the stove. Strange, he thought. Then he heard crying. He looked around. No one was there. The crying stopped. Then he heard another sound. Flap, flap, flit, flap, flit. It sounded like wings. The air around him moved as if a giant fan was blowing. Between the trees, glowing cat eyes danced up and down. Cheeto began to run. The eyes all around him. Cheeto reached an open lid. He saw his friend's farmhouse. Someone came out of the house. Then everything went black. When Cheeto woke, he was in a bed. His friends sat behind him. Where are they? Cheeto cried. Who? Asked his friend. The barbarians. They were after me. You must have hit your head when you fell. And his friends? His eyes shiny and narrow. You imagine things. Cheeto friend left the room. Why doesn't he believe me? Cheeto wonders. Something was different about his friend. Something about his eyes. There was a cry from outside window room. The door burst open and a cold wind rushed in. The room filled with sound. Flip, flop, flip, flop. Ooh. Macros flapped his arms. I'm coming to get you. I'm a bear-bound. Stop that. What time is it? I asked. It's 6:30, replied Leon. We better take a shortcut through the forest, said Marcus. But Mom said not to go there, I replied. She also said not to be late for dinner at dinner. We all stepped into the forest and walked for a long time, but sometimes was long. It was still getting dark, and we were still walking. Some shortcuts, said Macro. Do you really know the way? Yes, I said, but maybe I was wrong. Look, said Leon. I think we passed these French trees before. We are walking in circles. I have to think, I said. I sat on the ground. When I looked up, a woman came our way. She was carrying a big pot. Pot woman! I screamed and started running. Leon and Marcus were close behind. There was a buzzing in my ears. I tripped and tumbled, and my shirt was wet. I was covered in blood. Help! I screamed. What happened? Leon asked. I'm bleeding, I cried. Marcus wiped his finger and on my shirt and licked it. Catch up, he said. You popped the lid when you fell. I felt much better. We stepped out of the forest not far away from where we started. A car was coming down the road. It stopped. It was my mom. Boys, where are you? She asked. I worried sick. You found the stores. They told us you left hours ago. We got lost in the forest. I told her you were right. We should not have gone in. Well, you are safe now, she said. She dropped us back to the cottage. The bonfire was burning, and our neighbors were there too. Go and something to eat, said my mother. I look at the picnic table. My heart stopped. A big pot was sitting there. What's that? I asked. We are having a potluck dinner, said my mother. Miss Brown bought some chili. Don't you want some? I just have a hot dog, I said. Let's sit inside, said Leon. A mild smile as we left. Hey, said my girls. Did their eyes look like strange? Afterward, do you want to read this? Not one person. Do and who does not read one like this? You can stop videos with this, okay? And you want to read the person? You can not stop and keep going, okay? I read them. Afterward, what do you think happened to Cheeto at the end of the bell lounge? Do you think that the bell lounge got him? Is there some way that Cheeto's story could have a happy ending? Where the stories come from? Little Pepper and Pot Woman are characters that are found in Native American legend. Barbarians can be found in the folklore of the Philippines. Through the world, many creatures have stories about scary beings that live in the forest. Perhaps others invent them to keep small children from going into the forest alone. The end. Bye bye everyone. See you next time.